and 1. Hey Buzzheads, Curtis Tucker here with Enid Buzz. I am kicking off the Enid Buzz podcast. It comes to you live from Enid, Oklahoma, and it is all about what's going on in Enid. This is kind of the intro episode just to give you guys an idea of what the podcast is going to be and who I am if you guys don't know. So if you're listening to this podcast, you can watch the video version of the podcast on the Enid Buzz YouTube channel. So hop on over there if you want to and check that out. And some of these videos will also be on my Curtis Tucker YouTube channel. So check that out as well. But this is primarily going to be meant to be an audio podcast to give you guys updates on what's going on in and around Enid, Oklahoma every week. I'll give you all the big events that are on the calendar, a lot of the business news, openings and closings, and then press releases, articles, things like that. Just kind of give you guys an idea of what is happening week to week. So I am Curtis Tucker. I started Enid Buzz in 2005, but give you guys a little background on me. My family basically left Illinois, came to Enid, Oklahoma in 1900. That would be my great grandfather came to Enid in 1900. They got a farm out right about where Lowe's is now, somewhere kind of in that general area. And my great grandma used to ride a horse all the way over to Glenwood, and she would go to school there. And then unfortunately my great grandmother passed away, and so my great grandma had to stay home and help cook and do the cleaning and things like that. So she never finished school, never learned to drive, but lived in Enid the rest of her life. And then she had my grandma, who was born here in Enid, Oklahoma. And then basically everybody from there on out, other than me, has worked at Vance. My grandma worked at the chapel out at Vance, and my mom worked at personal affairs at Vance. My sister works out at Vance currently. My uncle was a pilot and then a trainer pilot out at Vance. So a lot of connections with Enid. I went to school basically from first grade through high school in Enid and graduated Enid High School in 1981. Went off, got some went to college, Northern Oklahoma College, Oklahoma State University, Central State University. Ended up with a couple jobs in Oklahoma City, and then in 1989 came back to Enid as the advertising director at Evans Drug. Worked there for about 12 years and then started my own business. And then around 2002, 2003, when I was had 2 daughters, decided to quit my job at Evans and start my own company working from home. Had figured out how to make some money online, and so I was doing that, making money online, doing digital stuff. And around the early 2000s, blogging had really kind of taken off, and web design had taken off, and there was even podcasting had started then. So I even dabbled in podcasting around that time, but it hadn't really taken off. It had started but hadn't taken off, so I didn't do much in the way of podcasting. But I built enidbuzz.com in 2005 as one of the blogs that I had started, and I thought it would be cool to have a website that was kind of a directory of everything Enid. So I thought I'd put, what's happening at the Symphony and Gaslight and the City of Enid and just all the other places that had websites and things going on. Now, this was pretty much before social media had taken off. There was no Facebook. I don't even know if MySpace was really being used at that point. So basically, it was a website. I was really good at search engine optimization. So basically, anything that you would search for Enid, Enid Buzz would come up. Enidbuzz.com would come up, and I had just all kinds of stuff on there. Started posting old photos of Enid, old stories of Enid growing up in the 70s, and the things that I remembered, the old restaurants and stuff like that. And then finally Facebook did come along, so I joined Facebook, and then I think, I'm not exactly sure what year, started a Enid Buzz Facebook page, but only had about 300 followers. Didn't update it much, spent most of the time on the website, and then I was basically doing a whole bunch of other businesses online, and Enid Buzz was just kind of a really, really small little side thing. That went on for about 8, 10 years, and then around 2012, 2013, had some major changes happen to my online businesses, and was not, basically everything collapsed, and I was basically almost unemployed in 2012, and was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I knew that I didn't want to go, get a regular job where I had to go into an office and work for somebody. So I was trying to think, what could I do online that was not really related to Google, but, I could make money. And so I thought, well, what if I could turn Enid Buzz into a full-time business? So I thought, well, at least I'll give it a try. So around 2013, I decided to see if I could make Enid Buzz a full-time business, and by then the Facebook pages had really gotten popular. People were starting to follow them and use them, and so I started, basically the day that I decided to start Enid Buzz as my full-time business, I started posting on the Enid Buzz Facebook page a lot. I mean, like way more than most people were, a lot of times per day. And from that day on, all the way, and that was 2030, so basically 10 years ago, have not stopped. I've been posting, updating constantly. I think that's what has caused me to, be in business all these years. I stayed consistent and tried to provide fun, pertinent news. And so basically, I try to concentrate on Enid Buzz lifestyle and business, restaurant, things like that. There are some news things that I do, cover, or some negative things that I have to cover, or, there might be a shooting or a bank robbery or something like that. But I try to stay away from the hard, negative news all that I can, but still want to keep everybody updated, but just try to keep concentrating on lifestyle. Like I said, what are the events going on in town? Where's the music happening? Things like that. And so that's what Enid Buzz mainly concentrates on. But so first and foremost, there is enidbuzz.com. That's where you can find a lot of stuff. Again, I concentrate on the calendar, which has all the events in town. There's the blog, which has press releases, articles about businesses, articles about people, articles about what's going on around town. There's a jobs page, which is really popular, ranks really high. I post 2 sections on there, paid jobs and free jobs. I post the obits on enidbuzz.com. There's a classified page. There's a business directory. There's a restaurant guide. So basically there's over 100 restaurants in town, and they are all listed on there. And there's kind of a shopping guide section on there to try to help you guys if you're looking for stuff to shop for. And so those are kind of the main categories, and I keep it updated pretty much every day. There's a weather page with what's going on with the weather and things like that. And then, if there's like major traffic or just different press releases with different things, organizations going on in Enid, it will all be updated on enidbuzz.com. I currently, I'm recording this podcast episode January of 2024, so that's the kickoff of the Enid Buzz podcast. As of right now, I do not have a mobile app. I used to have a mobile app for I don't know, about 7 years, I think. Shut that one down, so I'm looking for a new platform. So there will be a new Enid Buzz mobile app coming out, and so if you're listening to this basically down the road, you might check and see if it's been released somewhere. But it will basically have everything that's on the website, but I'm also wanting to add kind of a forum on there, so people don't have to go to these Facebook groups, because the Facebook groups are just don't seem to be working out too well. A lot of negativity, a lot of spam, a lot of stuff like that. So basically, I'll try to have everything in one spot, which will be on the Enid Buzz mobile app. And then, so after the enidbuzz.com website, we've got the Enid Buzz Facebook page. I think January of 2024, I just reached 45,000 followers. It continues to grow every week. And then I've also got Enid Buzz Instagram, Enid Buzz Twitter, Enid Buzz YouTube. So basically, if you go to any of those, youtube.com, you just type in /Enid Buzz at the end of it, and you'll basically find me on all those. I've also got a weekly email newsletter that is growing. I think it's at about 2,700 as of this date, but it is growing. So if you basically want probably almost everything that's going to be in the podcast, if you don't want to listen to an audio version, you can get that in your email. You can go to enidbuzz.com, go down to the bottom, and it will take you to where to sign up for the Enid Buzz email. But basically, you'll get an email in your email every week, and it'll have kind of the highlight of what's going on, the major events, and things like that. And then we've got the podcast, and so that's one of the newer things. And what else? I think those are the major things at this time. I know I'm probably missing something. But so there's lots of ways of getting information from Enid Buzz about what's going on in Enid. So check that out. Just go to enidbuzz.com, and it'll kind of direct you to most of the main ways of getting news. I'm trying to make sure I'm not, I don't think I'm missing anything. So anyway, so those are the major places to get information from Enid Buzz about Enid. And I think that is kind of those are the main sources of information. So this was just meant to be kind of a quick overview of what Enid Buzz is, where to find information from Enid Buzz. And so I'm not going to make this podcast episode too long. So appreciate you guys. Basically, if you're a loyal follower of Enid Buzz, you are basically considered a buzzhead. We have contests, give away a lot of things throughout the year. I'm going to have more t-shirts coming up, so be on the lookout for Enid Buzz stickers and t-shirts and stuff like that. And we'll be doing lots of giveaways. Basically, the way that I make money is advertising. So if your company would like to advertise on Enid Buzz, the email is buzz@enidbuzz.com. If you guys have old photos you want to send me, or questions, or if you want to advertise, I do apologize. Sometimes I do get behind on answering, because I get tons of emails, texts, phone calls, and messenger messages, and it's basically just overwhelming. So many messages that I can't get through them all the time, or can't keep up. But eventually I try to get to them and get back to you. It's just something that I can't really hire somebody to do, because there's not enough work to keep another person full-time, and I just got to figure out how to get through it. So anyway, I appreciate you guys when you contact me, and don't think that I've forgotten about you if I hadn't gotten back to you. It's just that I've got a lot that I'm trying to catch up on. And so I think that's kind of the main part of Enid Buzz. So I appreciate you guys being a part of it. Enjoy the weekly podcast episodes. If you guys have ideas, or if you would like to be interviewed on the podcast, and I'm going to try to keep the podcast to 15 to 30 minutes. I mean, if I have a big interview with somebody, or something important's going on, it could go 30 minutes to an hour, but basically going to try to keep most of the Enid Buzz podcast episodes to 15 minutes to 30 minutes, basically kind of like this one. So send me feedback, show ideas to buzz@buzzheadmedia, or no, buzz@enidbuzz.com. Send me information there, and I appreciate all of your feedback. So you guys have a great day, and again, enjoy the podcast. See ya.